Hello, hello. Welcome to this live training. Whether you are receiving it live or watching the recording, this works. The first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for choosing you through being here. And thank you because you're receiving my art, and just being here means the world to me. I enjoy myself infinitely when I'm doing this because this is one of my life purposes. So we're gonna start today, and all this training is about remembering. And I put this energy first on top of it all because it's not that I know something that you don't know. It's just that I remember this and I'm going to help you remember. And the other parenthesis is take this as a new perspective, a perspective that can make things work different. It's not about the truth with capital T. It's about things and everything working for you. Instead of holding this energy of pressure, I need to, just this energy of release, of what if it's just a game? It's just a game and it gets to be fun and exciting. A lot of things that I'm going to say are for your subconscious mind because that is one of my things. The subconscious mind is just one of the topics that excites me the most because it changed my life, and honestly because understanding how your mind works makes it even greater, shinier, brighter. So, okay, a lot of things are for your subconscious mind and they won't make sense. And that's how you know that it's actually working because it is not created for your conscious mind. So we're going to talk about symbols, and I'm going to say a few things that maybe your conscious mind is going to be like, oh, what is she talking about? Well, we just receive. And it's going to be fun. So from this moment on, your mind is taking interest and appeal to all the things that serve you, that are in alignment with what you truly, truly, truly desire. So if you are here listening to me, it's because maybe you feel unstuck. You feel stuck. My subconscious mind is giving us the illustrations. And yeah, maybe you're here because you already feel unstuck. There's a way your mind has been processing a few things, and the way your mind has been working, maybe it's making you feel sometimes stuck, like things are not happening, and this emotion and a lot of heaviness. So we're going to talk about a rabbit. If I ask you, do you think the rabbit's mind want rabbit to feel good? What would you say? Yes or no? Okay, probably you said yes. So in that regard, if I ask you, do you think rabbit's mind want rabbit to feel bad? What would you say? Yes or no? No, right? Maybe you answer that. And the thing is, rabbit's mind doesn't have that judgment of good or bad. Rabbit's mind doesn't care about rabbit feeling good or bad. Rabbit's mind wants rabbit to be alive and to do a few things. Let's say if a wolf is chasing rabbit, mind is going to create an emotion so rabbit can take action. Okay. So in that regard, we're going to say that rabbit's mind wants rabbit to be alive, wants rabbit to save his life from this wolf, wants rabbit to eat, wants rabbit to eat carrots, wants rabbit to have sex and reproduce. Mind is in charge of creating emotions so we can take an action. Okay. So, oh my gosh, this is already so powerful. I'm loving it. Whenever I record an episode, teach a class, or give a session, whatever I'm doing, even when I'm driving and I have the kids in the back, I set an intention. Intention is an energy that's going to drive the creation of your life. But we're going to go in depth inside of magnetic. So the thing is, mind doesn't care about good or bad. Mind just wants you to take an action. Okay? And it's this way: mind, emotion, action. So you can do something about it. Emotions, this middle part, emotions, and emotion only means energy in motion. Energy that it's literally moving. So if you were to ask, let's say a monkey, let's say that a monkey was in danger. So the monkey accidentally scratch his leg, let's say, or smash his leg. So monkey had an accident on his legs. So now it's walking with more caution. If you were to ask the monkey, oh, are you still thinking about what happened? Are you still evaluating what happened? Do you think you would have been more careful? Do you think you put yourself in danger? Maybe the monkey is just gonna reply like, what are you talking about? Like, would I have been more careful? Like what are you talking about? Oh yeah, because you hurt your leg in the past. And monkey is just gonna reply, answer, like, where's the past? Where is such thing as past? What are you talking about? We are the only ones that can think about past and future, because animals, of all living creatures, we are the only ones that can think about something that doesn't really exist. So if you ask this monkey, the only thing that exists is the present. So follow me here. This is juicy. Follow me here. 11:11. So if I were to ask you, or let's do this thing first. Our mind, let's say that you slammed a pillow, like maybe you put all your energy and slammed a pillow. Your slam is going to leave an impression on the pillow, okay? But that impression doesn't mean that the slamming is still happening. Can you agree with me? Yes. So what our mind is thinking with that impression, our mind is seeing that impression, but our mind is thinking that the slamming, it's still happening. So maybe that's been happening with the situation that you've been experiencing, repeating, living over and over again. Because mind is still thinking that that thing is happening. So the emotion is still there because your mind wants you to take an action. Okay? So what we're going to do here is just like clear the pillow, just like literally move it, satisfying. It's no longer there. And one thing that I want to talk about, I have my notes here. One thing I want to talk about, just to add this lightness. Sometimes we judge ourselves as resistant. Like, oh, I'm resistant because what we learn is that we need to feel the uncomfortable emotions in order to release them, right? Like, I remember in my own experience, I worked with a lot of therapists and maybe 2 or 3 at a time at some point because of my childhood. Long story short, my dad left when I was 5, so that left an impression and created XYZ. And by the time I was 24, let's say, my mind thought that the slamming was still happening. So it was my job to, or it was my choice to create something different. And this helped me a lot just to release, to help my mind work in a better, optimal way for me. So I can be closer to my dreams. Or I can literally receive my dreams. So we learned that we need to feel the uncomfortable emotions in order for us to release those emotions. So basically we need to make ourselves feel bad in order for us to then feel better. And that doesn't make sense, right? It's like, what would you, let's say, what would you create something that you don't want in order to have something that you want? What would you become the frequency of a life that you no longer desire in order to manifest, become a magnet to the frequency of your dreams? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why do we have to create that it's not in alignment? So I want to destroy the judgment of you being resistant to change. You are here. You're listening to me. And that's the proof that you are not resistant to change, that you choose the change. It's just like the tools maybe didn't work, or they were not the tools required for your mind to work differently. That's it. Just like, oh, you know what? Like, this was not the path to get there. That's it. That's it. So we're gonna continue with this without the idea of you being resistant to change. You're here, you're listening to me, and something that's going to give you like a lot of space. Our minds are the ones in charge of attaching meaning to everything. If I were to ask you, okay, think about color blue. What do you think about color blue? Okay, now think about color green. What do you think about color green? Your mind is the one that's attaching meaning to everything. So something that's going to give you like, even more space is that the more disturbing the story is, the more disturbing the meaning will be. If there's a huge trauma, then your mind is going to attach like a big, strong, heavy meaning to that story. So our minds are created for that, to figure it out, to have a story. Our minds create stories. But a lot of times our minds tell us a lot of bullshit. Like a lot. And I'm gonna give you an example. Like our minds they're just aware of the things that have happened in the past. So whenever you feel something similar, your mind is gonna attach the meaning of a past event, and then it's gonna add more. Can you relate when you are maybe sharing a story? Let's say this is a funny story. When you are sharing a funny story with, I don't know, your partner, a friend, a family member. Okay, you're sharing this funny story, like, oh, you know what, like this happened and la la la. By the fifth time you share this story, it is a completely different story. It's just like if you were sharing, let me think about a story that, a funny story. I have so many funny stories, but now it's like a blank my mind. Okay, okay, I have one story. So the thing is, we went to a birthday party. This is a birthday party for a 7, 8-year-old. So we were all roller skating, okay? And there was a competition at this place. So Cray, my partner, was competing with Presley, our 7-year-old. So he was competing, but he didn't have his roller skates by the time the competition was about to start. So Cray was rushing roller skates, and then he was roller skating to the line because the competition was about to start. So basically, long story short, he didn't stop. Okay? He didn't stop. So he grabbed Presley, our 7-year-old, he grabbed Presley down, and everyone on the line was out. Like everyone was on the floor because Cray didn't stop. Like literally didn't stop. And by the time we share this story, like it's a completely different story. Like I bet if we had a video of that story, like it is not what it was. Now we think like, oh yeah, everyone was on the floor and they were laughing and screaming and la la la, and then this happened. But no, I grabbed Presley like this. No, like now it's a completely different story. Like maybe it was not like that. Maybe it was not like everyone in the line. Maybe it was just Presley and 2 or 3 more girls. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? And there's a Netflix documentary about how our mind works. It's called Mind. I'm gonna post it on something. The point is how our mind works. And there's a study where they ask all the people that was a witness, don't quote me on this, please. There was a study about asking people who witnessed the World War II, let's say, or a war or a huge event, I don't know, 9/11, something. And they were asking people what happened. And all of them shared a story that was not accurate. They all had a different story. And that documentary talks about that, like that our mind, if we rely off our memory, if we rely whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. If we rely on our memory, yeah, thank you. It's not going to be accurate. So our mind attach meaning to everything. So the more disturbing the story is, the more disturbing will be the meaning. So just release it. Like it's just something that is there and we're going to release it. Because your mind, we're going to do this. Let's say that someone was walking to her car. A girl was walking to her car after work, and then a guy approached her and hit her with a brick, and a terrible thing happened. Okay? What our minds are doing is attaching meaning to everything. So the mind of this girl maybe attach a meaning of I put myself in danger, or I created this, or I deserve this. That's why it happened. But the thing is, if you were to ask this person, or if you were to see this situation from a third perspective, if you were to look at this as if you are literally watching a movie, you wouldn't think, oh, that girl put herself in danger. Like, oh my gosh, how unaware of her to be walking to her car 30 minutes after work. Like, she put herself in danger. Like, you wouldn't think that. Because this is programming that we have, that we bought. And even though we learn something different in the future, like we're still working with our first core belief, let's say, that things are good if we are good. For the ones that are here live, can you relate? Like we learned that things were good if we were good. If we did the things, the good things, if we behaved, therefore everything would be good. That's what we learned. And now we know different, but we're still working with things are good if I'm good. If there's something bad in my life, then I must have done something wrong. It's my fault. I'm the one who didn't do XYZ. I'm the one who who is resistant to change, who doesn't want to And there is a lot of judgment. And this is gonna connect everything because judgment doesn't work, literally. It doesn't work. Let's say it's messing with your energy. Or let's use another analogy. It's like no one is in charge. No one is there. Let's say you have a spectacular throne. Spectacular. I don't know. Visualize your throne, how big it is. And yeah, let's do this for your subconscious mind. Okay, what color is your throne? Dark or color? Okay. And what size? Is it big? Is it small? Is it medium? Okay. And what's the shape? You have a throne. And whenever you are using your energy in the past, judgment, guilt, blame, let's say that you left your throne. There is no one there. So whenever you need to create something different, there's no one there. Like there's literally no one. So you're king, let's say, or no, you're king. That energy doesn't work for this example. So let's say your counselors, the ones that are, of course, behind you because you are the queen. So they're asking themselves, like, oh, what should we do? Like, what should we do now? I mean, she's not here, so what should we do? Like, does she want to eat fruit for breakfast, or eggs, or vegetables, or maybe a pizza? Like, who knows? Who knows? She's not here. So let's say they decide, okay, let's do this. She's been doing this for a while, so we're gonna do this. So you receive the thing you've been doing over and over again, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm receiving still the same. Well, yeah, because you're not choosing something different, because you are not there, because you are in the past. I don't know what you're doing. It's like you're visiting a closet. You're not in your throne because you're inside a closet, just like revisiting the past. And you're not going to create anything different there. So you're literally there because your mind is still processing the slamming of the pillow as if it's happening when it is not. It's just the impression. So what I'm going to add to this is, if someone is feeling a judgment, guilt, blame, anger, sadness from something that it is already finished, let's say mine is not working optimally. Can you follow me here? Okay, if someone is still feeling XYZ from something that is already finished, that doesn't exist, the mind is processing something unaccurately, let's say, because it doesn't exist. So I'm gonna invite you to think about the one event, one situation that brought you here, a situation that is making you feel stuck, like, ugh. So you're gonna cause that feeling of ugh for 3 seconds. 3 seconds, and that's it. If you are there, 1, 2, 3, release it. Good. So you cause it, right? That event is not happening. You cause the emotion. So that feels that you can cause emotions from things that are not happening, right? Are you with me? What we're gonna change is that, because your mind has been doing that automatically. What you just did caused the emotion of ugh. You did it on command, but your mind has been causing that automatically, like in the back. So it's not you, that you are actively choosing that there's something wrong with you. Oh my gosh. Like, what is wrong with you? It's not that. It's that your mind has been causing this automatically because your mind has been doing this. That's it. Now we're just gonna release that. So your mind can work differently in a more, let's say, optimal way. And that's about it. So how are we feeling right now? I'm feeling like lighter. So to close this first day, sometimes we think, I shouldn't have experienced that. I should have done different. Like, that shouldn't have never happened to me, you know, because there are things that happen. But the thing is, if it shouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have happened. It happened because it was intended to happen. Because in this line that you're following me, there's not right or wrong. It's not that your mind wants you to feel bad. And I'm going to ask you again, do you think your mind wants you to feel bad? Yes or no? Do you think your mind wants you to feel good? Yes or no? Well, the answer again is no. Your mind doesn't give a shit if you feel good or bad. Your mind is just doing its thing. Your mind just wants you to take action. Your mind is responsible of creating an emotion so you can take action. And your mind is working with the present, let's say. From now on, your mind is working with the present. So the only thing that's really happening is your present. The only thing that exists is the present. So if you are right now in front of fire and you put your hand on the fire, your mind is going to cause an emotion of pain so you can take an action, right? Do you follow me? It's not that your mind wants you to feel better. No, your mind is causing an emotion so you can take an action, so you can be alive. That's the thing. If you are here listening to me and you feel great, your mind is creating an emotion so you can take an action, so you can receive more of this, so you can tap, um, so you can connect with your intuition, so you can tap into your power, so you can do more of the things that nourish your soul. Your mind is just responsible of that. That's it. And if we're living in the past, then your mind is revisiting this story over and over again and causing the emotion of that plus more disturbing things. Because remember, it's just like add-ons. And then wants you to take an action. So your mind wants you to take an action on something that doesn't exist anymore. So we're going to go back to the only thing that exists is the present. It should have happened because it happened. Does it make sense? Like, if it shouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have happened. It needed to happen because it happened. And the only one that's creating a story is your mind. And you're experiencing this disturbing emotion because you're still living it. So literally, like the pillow, the homework of this day, it's gonna be, you're gonna take a pillow and you're gonna punch that pillow as hard as you can. Okay? Use all your power just to punch that pillow. And then you're gonna see the impression that that pillow will have. You're gonna literally see the impressions that you left. Okay? Are you following me here? And then you're just gonna release that. You're just gonna release it. You're just gonna take the pillow, erase the impression, and this is what we're gonna do with your mind. So this is an invitation, but also like do the homework. Like just so your mind can have a release. And in this regard, we can close this with everything is working for you. Whatever is happening is working for you. Your mind is responsible of you. Your subconscious mind cares about you. Your subconscious mind thinks that it's everything about you. Everything is about you. Your subconscious mind has a blueprint of your body. That's why I remember when I was in Mexico and I had a friend that did my nails every month. So whenever she shared an image of my nails, I immediately knew, like on Instagram, immediately knew that's my hand, because my subconscious mind has a blueprint of my body. So your mind is responsible of, well, your subconscious mind is responsible of your survival. So cares about you taking action so you can thrive. But at the same time, like, doesn't give a fuck if you feel good or bad. Just wants you to take an action. Does it make sense? I know this is like maybe weird, but yeah. So everything is working for you, but you are the one in charge. But at the same time, you are the one in charge, and you are in charge of yourself, and you can choose this. Whenever your laptop is not working, you don't blame yourself. You know, oh, good. Like whenever some of your appliances don't work, you don't blame yourself. Oh, and I'm going to use this last example. If you take a hammer and throw it through the stairs, it's not going to break, right? Then you're going to take the hammer and it's going to be perfect. Like, okay, cool. That's it. But if you throw your computer through the same stairs, it's good. Maybe it's going to break. Why? Because it's so much more complex, your computer, than a hammer. Can we agree? Well, your mind is so much more complex than the laptop, than the computer. So whenever something happened, it's just like left an impression, but now we're going to clear it. So that's going to be the homework for today, for tomorrow. And just like a little of housekeeping, I know you know that there are 3 prizes. And it doesn't matter if you're watching the recording or you're here live with me. So the first place, and I'm going to read this because honestly, my mind doesn't remember. So the first place is a scholarship to a 3-month one-on-one coaching program with me, plus access to Magnetic August 24th. So this is 12 one-on-one sessions to get personalized guidance and tools, plus Magnetic, that it's the #1 program in how to become irresistible to your desires. And this, I know I shared about this. Your desires, when I talk about irresistible to your desires, I'm talking about not negotiating anything. I'm talking literally about your desires. I'm not talking about, oh, but maybe like a smaller version of this, maybe if I sacrifice this. No, when I'm talking about your desires, I'm talking about your fucking desires. Exactly what you desire. That's the meaning of a desire. So irresistible to your desires. Because if you ask any, and I'm going to use this word, any successful person how they get where they are, any successful person, they will answer like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting this. This was a completely surprise. This was a complete surprise. Right? So the how, again, is not your fucking problem, because you're not gonna know how you will arrive. So release it. If you were to ask any successful person how they got there, they would say, I had no idea. This was a path. Like, oh my gosh, it was like a surprise, a miracle. Like, I was not planning on this. That's it. So the how is not the problem, irresistible to your desires. The second place is access to a one-on-one power hour with me. So this is 60 minutes to receive support and new perspectives that will transform your reality, meaning emotionally free. And the third place will be access to Magnetic, this edition, August 2024. So, how can you win this? The thing is, I'm gonna ask you to post, and this is a post. It cannot be a story because stories only last 24 hours, but this is gonna be a post on Instagram where you're gonna share one aha moment or something that within this session transform your perspective, transform your energy, your reality. You're going to share one thing that you received today that changed everything for you. It can be English, it can be Spanish. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, it can be English or Spanish because I know that the community it's English and Spanish. So you have to share one post each day with the hashtag that I'm going to share with you. Every day is going to change the hashtag. So I know that you're here listening to each one of the days. So I'm going to share you a hashtag and you're going to post the thing that transform your day to day, let's say. And at the end, we're gonna know who won the prizes. So the hashtag of today, because intuitively will be uh, 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 let's say I'm thinking. Maybe that's a problem that I am thinking. Okay. So the hashtag of today will be hashtag infinite potential. And we're gonna add the CS of Carolina Samper because maybe there are a lot of infinite potential hashtags. So it's gonna be hashtag infinite potential CS. That's gonna be the hashtag of today. And tomorrow we're gonna dive into you are in control of your algorithm and how it's going to be about your mind, remembering that all your desires are connected. They're not different things in different universes. It's just like one frequency connected. So you can deep briefly about if you become this frequency, then everything is going to come to you. Not just one thing, but everything at the same time, like the movie, everything all at once. That's it. So, with that being said, I will catch you tomorrow. Mwah. Excited.